All right, everybody, what's going on, man? How y'all doing? Happy Thursday. Happy Swag Smoke Day. What's going on with everybody out there, man? I hope y'all doing good. And I thank y'all for joining us for episode number 173 of Swag Smoke. And we almost making it up to 200. When we get to 200, y'all know we're gonna do a little something, something, We're gonna have a little party or something. We're gonna make it go down. Um, Got SWAC football today, so we're gonna this is almost like a little pregame show for y'all. Lead y'all into the game. Of course, I got my usual suspects up in here. Got Mr. Rattler Mania over there, and he gonna keep striking. And we got the big soldier in the house, Jamie G. What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing?
Man, we doing good, man. Just chilling, man, on this Thursday. Ready for the some swag action tonight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's going all the way down, man. So we're going. We had a crazy week of football last week, so we got a lot to talk about. How everybody doing out there in the chat, man? I hope y'all are doing good. We got Gremlin and Alabama A&M playing tonight at 7 o'clock on ESPNU. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. Could be an entertaining game, man. Or it could be it could be a game that ain't so entertaining, but I think it's gonna be a pretty good game. Um, what's going on, Mr. E Moore, man? What's happening? What's happening out there in Texas? What's going on with you? So, like I said, we got so much to talk about from last week, and we got a lot to talk about for this week. Um, where y'all gentlemen want to start at, man? It's all good with me.
Uh, I can talk about the Rattlers at the crossroads after losing last week. We had at the fork in the road. That was a tough loss for us, and we got to do some soul searching to try and recover this weekend and come back big. I know FAMU is in a spot we haven't been in a while, since about 2018, I think it was, since we lost this many games. So that's why I say we had a little fork in the road. We gotta right the ship. It was a tough loss, unexpected loss for us.
Yeah, I mean that was a surprising game, man. Like I said, Saturday, I was at the game and I saw the score was 10-0, and I was really like, you know, this fam, you doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? They gonna bounce back and make that second half run, and they'll win this game. And then I looked, and the lead just never took changed hands, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. I couldn't get too wrapped up in it because obviously we had a lot of craziness going on where I was, but
Yeah.
it was definitely a shocker, man. So first off, have you heard anything about Daniel Richardson?
I heard he was throwing at practice in the blue jersey. That's all I heard. So I don't know. But we're gonna have to have somebody got to play quarterback. In my opinion, I think I might let that cat rest up a little bit, make sure he well. I don't really see no reason to rush him back out there.
Yeah,
I
that's what I
mean,
was thinking.
I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, and I said that we should be able to win that game without Daniel Richardson. The rest of the teams just got to stand up and do and play ball on the other phases of the team and just kind of protect whoever they play at quarterback.
Yeah, I think you never want to look at a game like it's easy, which I'm not saying it like that, but if that was any game that you were gonna be short guys, this is probably the game for it. Valley gonna do what they do, but I think you're gonna be you'd be good playing somebody else. I guess they'll play Junior, or they're gonna go another direction. I don't know, but
I haven't
um,
heard. Well, see, we got three. It's 3 games left to play for FAMU. It's not like just the Florida Classic and that's it. It's still 3 conference games, and the season kind of in the balance still. It can go either way. So it's a big game. It's not like you taking Valley lightly anyway. But I'm sure if Richardson can play, then I'm sure he'll probably be out there. But if he can't play, then the rest of the team got to be able to stand up and win that game at home.
There's always next man up, but and I'm also interested to see the mentality of the team coming off a game like this. When you haven't lost in a while, and you lose, especially to somebody you wasn't expecting to lose to, that can kind of shake you a little bit. So I want to, I listened to the coach's press conference, and Coach Cozy, he sounded like he wasn't, he was like not doing so great because I guess he ready to lock in on the next game. So that could be a good thing that he kind of feeling it, and he want to have that feeling again. So, but it's gonna be interesting to see how they handle that moving forward. Because like you said, they still got 2 games left, and we got Valley in the house, man. Hey, hold it down for Valley, man. Again, big time shout out and condolences to the Valley family out there, man. It's tough to go through any kind of loss off the field, but I salute those guys for being able to come up and play in that game after what happened. So we're gonna kind of segue a little bit. Okay, yeah, let's find out. Do you have you heard anything about the situation that happened after the game?
Well, with the band and the football team, and I heard that it wasn't the band and the football team; it was the band and some of the FAMU parents were sitting next to the section where the band was, and the parents and the band were doing some taunting back and forth. And on the video I saw, it was one FAMU player went up and got in between. I'm assuming that it was his parents or whoever he knew, his relatives or whatever, and was separating. But I didn't see a fight between the band and the football team. I heard a lot on Facebook saying that, but I don't know. I wasn't there, so. But that's what on the video I saw. That's what I saw.
Yeah, coming from somebody who team and school not always, but somebody whose school is involved in things like this from time to time, and you never really want this kind of stuff to happen. It shines a bad light on your team and your program. Even if you didn't do anything, you got a whole weekend of people saying you did stuff, and that's a perception battle that you got to fight all the time, and you never shake it. So hopefully, they come out, they figure out what's going on, and I really don't expect the SWAC to do too much.
It would have been a lot worse if it would have been a fight. You would have seen some. You would think if it was a fight, it would have been a fight. I mean, we done seen SWAC fights before.
Oh yeah, we've seen fights in that stadium before. So
exactly.
it's something about that place just bring it out of you, man. It's just something about that place that bring it out of you. But
right,
I don't. I hate that kind of stuff happens after a game because it shifts. It shifts away from Prairie View playing a good job, playing a good game. And it's too little, too late. But them script writers, they finally got the story right for PV this year. But it's too little, too late. They can start writing their script for next year, but they tried to turn it around and get it right, but it didn't happen. Let's jump to JSU, man. I'm gonna let Big Soldier talk about the game Saturday.
Hey, y'all can go ahead and jump a little ahead, man. Let me do something right quick.
All right. Well, we'll jump. We'll come back to Big Soldier, but I guess I'll go and talk about our game, man. I really don't even. It's Thursday, and I still don't know what to say about that game on Saturday. I feel like we are a team that just we keep escaping by the skin of our teeth, and as a fan, it's not fun to watch. I think we got the potential to be better, but it's week 11, 12, whatever, and potential don't mean nothing no more. You kind of are what you are. So I think when it comes to Southern, we are an ugly football team, man. We play good defense. We can run the ball to an extent. We can pass the ball to an extent. We just can't do it all at once. There really was no reason for us to be down 3-0 for a whole 3 quarters to Bethune-Cookman when we moved the ball decently, but we kept shooting ourselves in the foot. So we can't keep playing games like that where the defense has to be on the field so much and constantly get stops because for whatever reason, the defense can bend and bend and bend, and then they stand up when they get inside the 20, but you can't do that every week. And I got a horseshoe, I got a rabbit foot, I got a chicken foot, I got a 4-leaf clover, I got all this stuff, man, and I don't even know how long it's gonna be able to work. I'm scared it's running out. I wanted to last one more week, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully it lasts one more week, and then we can rest it and come out and just play the classic and win. But it's gonna be a tough game. But shout out to Bethune-Cookman, man. They looking pretty good right now.
Would you say Southern is like building or improving, or you from I'm gathering you saying they still kind of up and down, but do you see a like they improving a little bit because they are winning?
Yeah, I think we're getting better and we're getting better in areas. Like I said, from the beginning of the season to now, our run game has been so much better. They made some changes on the offensive line, I think, going into the Texas Southern game. So the run game has been really good these last few weeks. All the backs are getting big carries. They're getting good yardage. Our passing game, it just depends on the guy that's playing quarterback. Last week was not a good day for T-Set. He took a little step back. I think a lot of that kind of got his head, and he had a young guy game. But Jalen Woods came off the bench and played well. So, I think
who y'all gonna run out there this week?
I don't know. If I knew, I would say I'm assuming they're gonna go back with T-Set because you don't really want to bench him. But Woods earned it by playing. He earned the opportunity by playing really well in a tight game as a redshirt freshman, and that was his first action in a game that meant something because he played against Nichols, but the game was way out of hand. So I think we improving.
Like Willie Titan come back out there, man.
We might need him. We might need him to sling it around, man. I think we're improving. We just inconsistent. We got a young team. We got 20 seniors. So depending on how you look at it, that's a lot, but a lot of them ain't starters. So we got a lot of guys gonna be coming back next year. And there's youth on the offensive line, there's youth at quarterback, and there's youth at the receiving core, and we got some young running backs. So the offense hasn't really found their full stride yet. But the defense is what they always gonna be. Just hard nosed. They're gonna get out of the quarterback and they're gonna make some plays. So I do think we're getting better. I just don't think we are improving at the rate that our record shows in conference,
Right. Well, it look like it won't be that parade that we've been talking about. Look like if everything go like it's trending, y'all will be playing a game.
We might actually be busy that weekend, man. I don't want to say nothing because I don't want to jinx it, but
right.
Because I do think Pine Bluff going to be a tough matchup for us. Their strength is our strength on defense, so I'm interested to see that matchup. And I do think we can do some things on offense against them, but it's just going to be being consistent. I just don't know.
Need to win this week. Y'all need to win this week so y'all don't have that pressure going into the Bayou.
Oh yeah.
If y'all go into that Bayou with that, it ain't gonna look good. I don't think.
Now
I
want
Dooley to set you up neither.
No, because he's gonna be trying to ambush, and I want to walk into that dome, man, free and relax. I don't want to walk in that dome worrying about what's gonna happen. I want to go in there knowing we're gonna win, and it don't really affect where we're going. So I think we're getting better, but you just. How sometimes you can see a team improve and you're like, yeah, they really didn't turn the corner. It's like every time I think we turn the corner, we kind of stumble again. So we just can't really keep the car on the road consistently. So
Well, we ain't talked about them big bad Tigers yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, I'm ready, man. Like I said, Valley put up a good fight in that first half, man, and it seemed like Jack State always start off slow, but they end up finishing the game. Able to run the ball well, and we pretty much that first half was a chess match, but that second half, we just had our way.
and that's kind of been the way JSU been all the
Mm-hmm.
last few weeks. A really strong second half, and not
Mm-hmm.
allowing nothing in the first in the second half from the opposing offense. So they
Mm-hmm.
taking care of business, um, and they making things happen. And they right now they looking like the top team in the conference. So you can't ask for much more than that. That's what you want from your team when you're playing against an overmatched opponent. You won't be able to come out there and knock them out the box. Uh, and when you do that, you make things a whole lot easier for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, in the chat, they say some players got suspended for that fight.
Hmm.
In
All
that,
right, if anybody got any
it's,
names or
it's
info, man, y'all put it in the chat so we can kind of have an idea what's going on. Because it's always interesting to see that kind of stuff. What kind of effect it's gonna have. Um, hopefully there's nobody that's a contributor for either team. You're coming into the late part of the season. You don't really want too many people missing these games.
well, we need everybody, but I think we can win without pretty much anybody too. We don't have to win without whoever it is. If it's whoever it is, we still got to win. It's got to be like you say, next man up mentality.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it wasn't Richardson, everybody else, I think we can recover from. But Richardson, we see that make a difference.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Hey, we for the way we play, we don't need a playbook. So we gonna make the game ugly without knowing they plays. We gonna play to the level of them. So y'all ain't got to worry about Southern with Pine Bluff playbook because it ain't really gonna change nothing the way we play. Um, but like you say, it's next man up. Like I said, games like that is next man up. You just gotta make it through it. And come out on the other side and get ready for a Bethune team in a couple weeks. That I think they're gonna give y'all a go. Now I don't know what kind of they're gonna be able to win, but I do think their team is getting better. They did a lot of things I like, but they also did a lot of things I didn't really like. I don't think they not flashy at all. They kind of know what they can do, and that's what they do. They're not really gonna throw the ball deep down the field. They're not really gonna do anything crazy. They're not really gonna run outside too much, but they're gonna open it up so Ransom can run. I think he's a underrated quarterback in the league. They got some good tight ends, though. I will say that they got some good tight ends, and their defense is kind of scrappy, but they don't have a lot of depth. So I think they got a chance to get better as the season go on. Um, I thought they handled themselves well in a dreary situation, man. The one thing I do want to say about the game Saturday, man, was that the weather was horrible. I mean, it rained off and on all day. It was gloomy. It was just blah. You know what I'm saying? It was one of the ugly weather games, man.
And it was an ugly game.
Yeah, on top of that, you gotta sit through all of that to watch that. You know what I'm saying? But it's always good to come out on the other side, though. So I don't sweat it too much. I just accept that's what we're gonna do, and we'll try to
Long as
ride
you
this
win.
train to the end. Huh?
I said, as long as you win, that's all that matters.
Oh yeah, a win is a win. Let's look at a couple other games last week before we kind of move into this week and anything else that pop up in the chat. Alcorn, man, they put the beat down on Texas Southern. Now, that game was 14-14 at the half, but Alcorn opened it up. Xavier Vaughn did what he do best, get them rushing yards. And TSU offense is still just I think that offense is going backwards as the season goes on. Only 176 yards of offense in this game. They just I
Ever
don't
since
know.
that HC hoodie came out, it has went bad for them. Ever since that happened, and then they found out I was talking about it, they took it off, but it ain't nothing they can do. They might as well just hang that season up.
How long ago that was?
That was about a few games ago when they played they played Jack State when they had them HCs on.
I don't know.
Was
TE coach, all them, they had them initials on their stuff, man. It ain't go right for them ever since.
Maybe they need to put them back on there.
I know.
So I don't know, man, but it ain't went well.
Maybe they put them back on, then the players will know which coach to listen to. They don't know who is who. But you gotta stick with what worked.
Yeah, Alcorn.
Leaving, and I'm sorry, but I feel like
Alcorn.
Texas Southern should have kept McKinney.
But before we go too far, man, I want to shout out Willie Bolden, man. That's my connect sometimes. He hooked me and my wife up with tickets the whole basketball season. He blessed me with a few tickets this week. I had to move them because my wife didn't want to not sit where we normally sit. But salute to Willie Bolden, man. He's a true Jag, man, and he always looking out for me and my wife. So I definitely want to shout him out for that. And just salute, man. So I'm more than welcome to take tickets from anybody if you got them. You know what I'm saying? But I do my part to support my Jag too. Alcorn still got a chance at the West, man. Do y'all think they can get there? Because they gotta win their next two games.
I don't think they're not gonna beat Jackson State, so that's not gonna happen. So no, they're not gonna get there. And they're another team at that fork in the road where, it can go good or it can go bad this season. But I know that's a rivalry game with them and Jackson, but I don't think they're gonna beat them. And this weekend they play PV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think PV will probably win that game off the momentum that they've had. That's 3 in a row, 4 in a row for PV?
Yeah, I think if they win this game, I think it'd be 4.
Yeah, it'd be 4 in a row. I don't know. I haven't watched a whole complete Alcorn game, so I guess I shouldn't be commenting. But the parts that I have seen, I don't know if they can beat PV, and I definitely don't think they're going to beat Jackson.
That's a wonderful analysis, Jerome, and I think you're 100% correct. I just don't believe that Alcorn is going to find a way to win the West because I think it's going to be a bullbox SWAC championship again.
Yeah,
I mean Alcorn cannot continue to run that playground offense and think they're going to win a championship. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But that was a wonderful analysis.
I know you're going to say that because I'm picking JSU to win. But, that's just for the show. But deep down inside, you already know how I feel.
Better luck next time. Hey, what they say, like when somebody a great man told me, have a brochure.
I'm gonna say this though. One thing Alcorn do is they do run the ball. So whether anything else go, who knows? But they gonna line up and they gonna run it at you. I do think if you can slow it down some and make them have to throw. I don't think they're as dangerous that way. I think they kind of slow down a little bit if you kind of make them a passing team. So they're gonna get theirs on the ground. That's just what it is. But if you can kind of slow them down, you got a decent chance
Do
making the offense kind of helter skelter.
you think PV can do that? Because PV kind of the same thing. You know, they jumped on FAMU and got ahead 10-0, but so they kind of were playing from a point ahead, but their offense don't look like it's one that can come from behind and put up a lot of points either from behind if they have to pass.
Yeah, I think the thing about PV is I think they right now they're living off the big play. They're hitting a lot of big plays, especially in the passing game.
They
And
had a
so
70-yarder against FAM.
yeah, and you know they've been hitting that the last 3 or 4 weeks. That's really been what they've been doing because they not running for a lot of yardage, but they got a back that can tote the load. Paul, but I do think that I think PV. I don't know defensively if they're gonna be able to do it. I think if they can change the tide of the game, it's gonna be offensively. Their defense is not bad at all, but I don't think that they're gonna be able to dictate Alcorn on the ground like that. So I think for PV they're gonna have to get them big plays and kind of make Alcorn have to play from behind. If they could jump out on them and make them play from behind, I think that'll be their best bet. Now defensively, I expect Malachi Bailey to just go ham. You know what I'm saying? PV offensive line, they kind of up and down. And Bailey been playing really, really well these last few weeks. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if him and some of those other guys kind of step in there and make some things happen defensively. And Alcorn, I think they have like 10 or 12 interceptions this season. So they really good at turning you over. So that could be a tide changer there too. That's why I think this game gonna be a close game because I think both teams kind of they kind of I don't want to say that they mirror each other, but they kind of both have this way of, you know, one game they making things happen, and you know then the next game they kind of look like they don't know what they're doing. So I think whichever team show up that day that look like they know what they're doing, I think they got a good chance of winning. But I personally get Alcorn the edge, but slightly.
So you pick Alcorn. That's why I've been hearing you saying that all the while. You've been saying that. You keep saying that without saying it.
I picked Alcorn in the preseason, but hopefully I'll be glad to be wrong. But I had been on Alcorn since the summertime, so I'm not gonna change how I feel about them playing everybody else.
Right.
I think this Alcorn is what Alcorn typically is: run the ball and then be opportunistic with your pass game. So I think they got a. I just think it'll be a close game. It's hard to really say who is much better than the other one, but I think they're gonna fight. I think it'll be a really good game. I think this could be one of the better games of the weekend.
Right. Well, I guess I see PV from last week, so they looking like world beaters to me.
I mean, I give them this. They found something that works now that didn't work before, and if they can keep doing that, then obviously they're gonna pick up some wins. Now, if they kind of go back to what they were doing before, then I don't think it's gonna work out for them. But this is almost the too little too late bowl, but Alcorn still got a solid chance because we just don't really know. We just don't really know what the other team gonna do from Saturday to Saturday. So I wouldn't count Alcorn out yet, but it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a good game. So it's one game I do want to talk about from last week that honestly was a surprise to me, and that was Bama State and Grambling. Bama State was up 23-10, and they lost. Now, if you ask me any day of the week if Bama State defense gonna allow them to blow a 13-point lead, I'm gonna tell you hell no. But obviously this was the one time, and I don't think Grambling did nothing fancy to come back. I think they had a turnover or something that kind of helped them get back in the game, but I think this is a big loss for Bama State. And I think this puts them in a tough position coming into this game Saturday because now Not, I mean, you needed this game anyway Saturday, but not you need it because you cannot lose. And I don't know if they're gonna be able to handle that.
Well, that was one of my questions that I had for this week, and it was is Bama State able to handle the bright lights? Can they handle win a game in the big lights with everybody watching? And that's what they're gonna have to do this weekend, because like you say, by losing last week, that they really need this game. They got to have it, you know. It became a must win. So yeah.
Now I won't go so far as say they're the 85 Bears, but I'll say they closer to them Seahawks teams back in the early 2000s, the Legion of Boom Seahawks. I think they more of that speed because they really strong in the secondary, and they pretty tough on all levels. But I was honestly surprised Grambling was able to come back the way they did, especially without Miles Crawley. You know, so that's interesting. But I do want to get the Big Soldier thoughts on this game Saturday.
Soldier out of here.
Yeah, he must be then dipped out. But I you know. Yeah, I agree with this comment here. I mean, Jackson State is pretty much 1 or 2 in almost every defensive category now. So a good game in this game gonna really put them above that. And obviously coming in with the #1 offense, that's not gonna change Saturday. So I do want to see if Bama State could step up to the plate, man. You know, everything is still left for them. They're gonna need a ton of help, but you can't get to where you want to go until you get past that first game. So I think special teams, Bama State got. I think both teams are really good in the return game. I think Jackson State got a better kicker, and I think their special teams in the kicking game is better. But I think the return game, both teams got guys that can take it to the house. So this could be a hidden yardage game. I think if when Bama State does well, they score in at least, they either score a defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown. That's typically when they play well, because the offense not really going to give you a lot of points all the time.
Right.
So in this game,
they got to create the short field for them, either by creating punting, 3 and out where they have to punt, or turning them over, just to make it a little easier for the offense. But Bama State kicker, he missed a big one last weekend. That cost him.
And I mean, when you call on your guy to make a 28-yard field goal, you really expect him to make that. And so I mean, where is his head at coming to the game? Right. I know he said, I think Coach Rob say he told him he's gonna make the next one, but where is his head at when he had to really step on the field and kick again? So it's a lot of things. I think letting that game slip away made this much harder for them, because now they got to rebound from a bad loss and step in the ring and play. So
it took away a lot of momentum that they had built up with that win streak that they were on. They had a lot of momentum going.
I think, like I said, I think they just got to try to rebound. But I don't know if this is the game that you want to have to do that in. So I do still think it's going to be a game where they within striking distance. They're going to have to be able to score points in the second half, and that's something a lot of teams they did against JSU in recent weeks. So I think JSU offense is just going to be good enough to get them through this game, because they're going to put a lot of pressure on Bama State with their running game. And I think Herb Mulligan, he needs like 106 yards to get to 1,000 yards. I think he get it this weekend. So,
what y'all think about Herb Mulligan's new nickname, the Boogeyman?
Hey, I'm with it. I'm with it.
What is it?
The Boogeyman.
What is it? The
Boogeyman.
Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman or the SWAC.
Hey,
Oh,
Yeah, the HBCU go say he the boogeyman of the SWAC.
hey, don't nobody want to see him.
no. I mean, the man only played in like 8 games and he almost got 1,000 yards. So,
Yeah,
what,
I was calling him Snuffleupagus, Mr. Snuffleupagus earlier in the year.
hey, I got guys on everybody team I like to watch play, and Herb Mulligan is one of those dudes for me, man. You know, like I really hated that he came back for the Southern game. I was hoping he had missed another week. Not that it would have made no big difference, but I was kind of hoping he'll rest another week. But you know, having that guy out there really make your offense go. But them young guys, Terrell and Dupree, bro, them are some fast dudes, bro. And they huge playmakers, and I expect both of them to make plays in this game.
Yeah, that kick returner, I would just kick it out of bounds.
Yeah, I would just
If
not
I
even
could
kick
kick
it.
it to the end zone, then I would kick it to the end zone. I would just kick it out of bounds though. That way you kind of take him out of the game, but then they'll have to find another way to blend him in. But I don't they run him on them jet sweeps and reverses and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, he gonna get his touches now.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna get his touches.
Yep. But the thing about it, dudes like that, you don't want them in that broken field. And you know what I'm saying? It's like if he in the broken field, all them little cats like that, you don't want them out there 1-on-1 and because they hard to get to.
Yeah, I mean you don't want to put that pressure on your guys to have to make that tackle or else he gone. You know, you want
Yeah.
to be able to corral him. You know, you want to be able to make him change direction and kind
Somebody
of flow
else
back to
running.
other people.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, I think JSU win this game. I don't know really what to expect from Bama State, but I do know what I expect from Jackson State, and I think JSU win this game, and I think they clinch the East on Saturday. I mean, I know that ain't a hot take, but I think they get it done because I don't think right now nobody is playing well enough to beat them. At least not right now. Shout out to my boy JB, man. I'm going against your Hornets this weekend, man. But I want to see y'all put up a fight, man. I want to see y'all bounce back.
What's up, JB? This the band matchup of the week right here.
Mm.
This
Oh, this
should
was
be a
good one.
good one. Yeah.
Shout out to them honeybees out there, man. Holding it down.
Now, speaking of band, now Valley gonna bring their band to FAMU Saturday.
That's the question I got. Is Valley bringing their
Yeah,
band?
yeah, Valley bringing their band. So,
That is
man,
great.
why FAMU couldn't bring their band, man? That's what I
Hey,
still want to know.
Valley need to come down there and see where it all started at, for them kids. I mean, serious. I'm being serious. I know it sounds arrogant and stuff, but that's the same field where Dr. Foster started all that stuff, man. You should come down there and experience that and get a chance to march on that field. But why FAMU don't travel? Because if they go to Valley, it'll be more people in FAMU band than in the stands.
Yeah, I think it's a good trip for him, man. I think if Valley can get out and travel more. Oh, we got the info coming to Southern this weekend. I like that, man. That's a band I like to watch. So I'm glad they'll be there. I do want to answer this question here because JSU might not have played a lot of explosive offenses, but I know you're not gonna say Bama State got explosive offense. I think they got potential, but they not on that list either. So I think JSU can handle anything that the Hornets throw at them. I mean, I'm far from a Jackson State fan, but I can recognize where they at. Now what that bodes for them if they make it to Atlanta, that's a different story. But right now, the team they got left on their schedule, their defense should be able to handle, honestly. I mean, I'm keep it 100.
Oh, I'm reading these chats. These guys crazy. Oh man. Valley got the largest band in the SWAC. They look like a big giant summer band the way they got all them people they got. It's like Bonds. You give Miguel Bonds, I think that's his name. Don't take him long to form a band. When he was at Talladega, they was like the biggest band, and they ain't even have a football team. So I know they're gonna come down there and be nice and loud. I can expect that. What's that chat say?
But I mean, if you want, I wouldn't put Grambling in that mix. That's not. I don't want to. I wouldn't put a game I lost in an argument. I just
Adrian,
wouldn't. I wouldn't put
Crook's crazy. Crook's crazy.
I wouldn't put a game my team gave. I wouldn't put a game my team gave up 14 unanswered points in an argument. I just wouldn't. You know, you can say you can. I'm not gonna argue for JSU. I'm gonna break out in hives if I do it too long. So I'm not gonna do that. But I mean, it's the SWAC. Everybody's everybody. There really ain't too many explosive offenses. So that point is honestly moot. If you can slow down a team that got a young quarterback and make him and fluster him, I think you win. I mean, I think that's simple football. I think you win. So I mean,
Jackson State should be able to do that. You would expect that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you would expect it on paper, and you always gotta expect the unexpected in a game. I'm not gonna sit there and say it's 100% certain that JSU gonna win, but the odds in their favor. So I mean, they both lost to Grambling. So
right,
one of them lost to Grambling off of 5 turnovers, and the other one lost to Grambling off a missed field goal in a game they probably should have won. So,
well, I mean, each week the games get bigger and bigger for Jackson State.
Yeah, I mean,
so, are they gonna be able to handle the moment? Because if they win this, then the next week is big too, and then after the championship, it just gets bigger and bigger.
And like I say, can they handle playing from ahead? We'll see. But I mean, like I say, I think the odds in their favor. I mean, we can agree to disagree, but there's not many offenses that I know that they can that's gonna just move the ball at will on them. Now, Bama A&M had a good second half against them, but first half they couldn't move the ball at all. So that's your number 2 offense in the conference. Pine Bluff was number 3 or whatever. I'm not gonna use that game for example because I don't know. I'm not gonna use the Pine Bluff game for example. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But realistically, Pine Bluff offense was one of the better offenses, and they slowed them down. So we'll see. I mean, hey, I'm looking forward to that game. I wish it was at a different time so I could watch it. But that's one thing I do want to. I want to touch on, man. Why all these 2:00 games? That just makes no sense. Like you can't even watch them all.
I don't know. This is gonna be hot as I know the weather's supposed to be cooling off here in Florida and Tallahassee this weekend, but it's still gonna be 1:00. So it's a good chance it's still 80 degrees.
I think we're gonna be in the 70s.
Shoot, but I don't know what to wear. But I'm going. But at least I know the game will be over early. I'd be over and done by 4 or 5 o'clock. I guess the sun will be going down since time has changed, though. But
yeah, by the time you get out there, it's gonna be dark.
Yeah,
but, like I said, like I say, man, I'm not trying. I don't want to sit here and argue for Jackson State the whole show, y'all. That's not me. I'm gonna let Big Soldier do that, but I just think they're playing good football right now, and
I want them to lose.
I mean, personally, I want everybody to lose.
Who want to argue Jackson State? We got free ass whoopings, man, over here. So everybody got their ass whooped except Grambling.
I'm ready for them to lose. That's all. So
I wish everybody lose. Can one of y'all go 6-2 so y'all can come to Baton Rouge, man? Can y'all do that for a brother?
Well, you really would be having your rabbit foot and all that stuff if all that happened and fall like that.
I'm bringing it all to the game Saturday, man. I'm bringing it all. everything with me for the next two games. I'm bringing everything I got.
Are
They better
the
not
Valley
run me
people
in the
still in the
Superdome.
chat? Are the Valley people and the Mississippi people still in the chat?
Yeah,
I got one question.
I think we still got Valley in the house.
I want to know if FAMU beat Valley, do they earn me a stone?
No. Okay.
Okay, I had to ask. I just had to ask.
Hey,
You
I
know what?
appreciate you asking.
If you beat Valley, you know what? I'm gonna give you a stone on that because Coach Keegan Wade, he ain't old boy from Valley no more. So
Ooh,
if you
Coach Wade.
beat Valley, you can get a stone.
I can get a stone.
Mark
All
it
right.
down. Coach Wade in the house. Mark it down.
That was one of my questions.
Yeah,
I was curious about
Yeah, Jerome. I'm gonna let you have a stone.
what they saying in the chat. Yeah.
Hey, and the TVA, them stones don't work. Yeah, like on Loki. Them stones, them stones
A
don't work.
free spot in the bingo card.
They got a big draw of stones, man, like on Loki.
Hell no. Oh Lord. Well, y'all crazy in the chat. I can tell you that much.
Hey, if that happens? If that happens, then the whole gauntlet got to disappear.
It what happened?
Valley win.
Oh man. The gauntlet has disappeared already. It's already been put away. I might whip it out
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. If Valley do beat FAMU,
for
yeah,
Bethune.
you just might as well give it the whole bag back.
Hey, Valley bring that double gun with them, man. They ain't really shot that gun off recently. They're gonna bring that gun with them, man. They coming ready to go.
Oh,
They
they be blowing loud. They band gonna be loud in the stands. They ain't gonna do nothing but walk down on the field and stand in one spot and play. They gonna be loud though.
Hey, they coming with the heat. They coming with the heat.
Yeah, I got So who you got for tonight? Who you pick? Did you pick that game?
Me?
Wells? Yeah.
I got Alabama A&M.
Oh,
I
okay.
got
I
A&M
think
too.
I got A&M too. I
People
got
told me I
A&M.
hate Grambling, so I might as well keep it going. I've
I
been
know you
accused.
don't like Grambling.
I've been accused of hating Grambling.
I know you don't like Grambling. I know that.
I mean, they don't like us, but why should I like them? Why should I like somebody that don't like me? You know what I'm saying, man? I'm not crazy, but I think. Now I will say this. Grambling defense can force the hell out of some turnovers, and we all know Xavier Langford is good for a bad interception. He always do for one. If he don't play a solid game, then Grambling gonna be in this game. But if they run the ball, if A&M run the ball anywhere near like they did last week, they win.
Can Grambling salvage their season if they win
If they
tonight
win,
and then win by you? Will that save their season for them?
well, first off, if they win tonight, and I don't really want to go there on the last part. But I will say if they win tonight and lose in New
Oh
Orleans,
my
no, it don't
gosh.
mean nothing.
It don't
I
mean
read the
nothing.
comment. Nah, man, I was over here rolling at this comment. Man, these folks in the comment.
I
This
The
know,
dude
comments is
said,
crazy.
hold on. I just read
but
it. Do you read this?
I will say though a good offensive effort from Grambling could go a long way with changing the perception of their team. Though I will say that if they can play a good offensive game, you know that people gonna look at them different. But I think A&M, I think I think they got a little bit too much. Um,
Oh, Edwin, that's you say don't expect Barnes to be respectful. I already know he tried to blow on FAMU when we was coming back off of probation. We ain't forgot about that, fam. You ain't forgot about that. So I already know he got something up his sleeve. That's why I say he's gonna be trying to be loud as possible. I know.
I'm just glad Valley gonna be somewhere. That's all. That's all that matters.
So Alcorn play PV. Is that in Texas this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
FAMU band got to start traveling to the games. What's the deal? We ain't got no money. We ain't got no money. We trying to buy muscle milk, stuff like that.
Hey,
Trying to buy the players.
the last team I know tried to get some muscle milk. They had the boycott to get it. So
Yeah.
We ain't got no. Take a lot of money to move the band around like that. That's what they say anyway. But they ain't gonna go to Mississippi Valley because, like I said, how many people y'all get at y'all game?
Well, I think the capacity is 10,000.
yeah, it's 10,000 in
I
the
mean, but
stadium.
how many people actually go to the game?
Depending on who they playing.
Depending on that's
When they play
Jackson,
JSU,
if they playing Jackson, that thing full.
is it Jackson people and they band that fill it up?
No, them Valley people turn out too.
Oh,
For that game, they do.
Yeah, because Valley last time we played up there, Valley, they didn't fill up that larger side, which is supposed to be their visitor side. They didn't even fill that up.
I imagine if FAMU band did go, it would bring more people out. I believe that.
Yeah, y'all should have kept that 237, man. Y'all could have traveled.
That means that's a lot of bologna sandwiches all the way to Tallahassee.
Oh man, they rolling, man. They rolling.
Yeah, they've been wanting to get them 237 jokes off. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you, hit man.
We've been there before.
1887. I hear you.
We've been there before. So what difference it makes if we don't go this time? We've been there before. And we've been everywhere in the SWAC. We don't have to go all the time.
Hitman, I hear you, bro. I know exactly what you're saying. It's always talking about FAMU band don't go nowhere, but
we do go places, and we've been there. And them been in the SWAC since 1998. Huh?
Did Jackson go to Daytona?
Man, they ain't got enough room.
That's sound like the same thing I say about my Valley.
Jack State band probably had to stand in the corner of the end zone.
Stand on that.
And when he had no seating, they probably had some lawn chairs or something out there.
We're gonna see who all come to FAMU next year.
Oh, I can't wait. I already told you that's on my plan. Man, that's on my. I got to get the brag.
Man, we ain't had but one visiting band in Southern this year. We had more high school bands in Southern than visiting bands. It's been ridiculous.
Well, like I said in previous shows, y'all don't like the 100, so why y'all want to see them?
I like the 100.
I ain't got a good answer for that yet.
I like the 100. I like to see FAMU band.
Well, it's a different taste.
Yeah, we ain't been there. Y'all ain't been here, so I think y'all got to make the first move. Y'all come to Baton Rouge next year. We roll out the red carpet for y'all.
That makes it SWAC bands equals zeal. Yeah, joking, not zeal. I ain't gonna lie. So spaghetti at a basketball game don't sound half bad.
Who got spaghetti at a basketball game?
He said FAMU band can sell spaghetti bowls at the basketball game. Hey, that would be half bad. Speaking of concessions, wouldn't it be better to have full good meals in some of these games? Go get you a hot plate.
Yeah, I mean
nachos or a hot dog or something.
If Bama State had food trucks in the stadium, now I don't know what they were selling, but that's a good idea.
Yeah, it is, honestly.
Yeah. Bama State had it. They got room to do it.
Yeah, I would I would love to see them diversify the menus and but
Well,
Yeah, you can get
FAMU
you
Stadium
a
ain't
Cajun
ready for
pot or
none of that.
something,
We ain't
like a
ready.
Cajun
FAMU
pot.
Stadium ain't ready. We're gonna have to have a food truck because it ain't ready. The concession area.
uh
Nah. That thing date back to about 67, something like that.
I want to say one thing about Southern Concessions, and we're gonna get out of here in a minute because it's almost time for that game to start. Which I didn't even realize it was 7 o'clock. Um, when you go to a game, a soda should not cost the same amount of money as a beer.
Come on now, say that
So,
again.
so, so, Southern charge $5 for a 20-ounce soda at the
Ain't
game,
no way.
and you can get a 12-ounce can of beer for $5. So you know which direction I go. I go straight to
I
the
don't
beer.
blame, and I don't blame you for not going because I wouldn't go pay $9 for a can of beer at a Jack State game. I can buy a whole 6-pack.
Shit.
Right.
You know
Honestly,
what I'm saying?
at Southern, I could bring in a whole 6-pack. Bro, let me tell y'all, the people that were working the gates at the north at the north entrance last week, bruh, the girl was like, "This is my first day. Y'all can come on in." She was like, "We ain't looking at nothing."
You ain't supposed to be telling that. You gotta
I,
keep
I,
that.
I don't care. It's been a different person every week, so man, my nieces and nephew, my nephew and nieces was at the game. And my mama had like a snack machine in her in her bag. I looked up and the little chair was coming back with all kind of stuff all game long. I'm like, what you
Y'all
get that
had
from?
a whole picnic in there.
Yeah, well, my mama pull out food out the I don't know what. Man, this is my last story, man. I think it was in like 92 or 93. The SWAC tournament used to be in Baton Rouge. My mama brought ribs with her to the game, bro. We was eating dinner.
Shoot, I know they was out there in that tailgate. It's some of everything out there in that tailgate
Yes,
area out
indeed.
there.
And you can smell it through the stadium, man. I'd be like, God, dog, boy, y'all throwing down out there. that smell be drifting across the stadium and like, oh man, I need to get up out of here and get something to eat. But
Pascalaya. I think that's how you pronounce
oh
it.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man, that hit.
Hey, hopefully the people that work the gates don't watch the show, so I can get back in this week.
Nah, you should have kept it to yourself.
Hey, I can't help it. I got a big mouth, man. I can't help it. But man, we're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here because I think the game about to kick off in a little while. Is Jake Walker and Tiffany Green calling this game? Y'all know?
I don't know.
I want Tyler Carter call this game, man.
He ain't gonna get this prime time. This is prime. Well, I don't know. He might get this game because Jay and Tiffany probably in Montgomery.
Yeah, they probably is.
Yeah.
Hey, Big Soldier. You know what I know? You know what I know is on the coaches call the last couple of weeks. Your boy James Hill ain't been around, man. You made that man disappear.
Y'all pick on that man.
That man disappeared, man. Big Soldier was on him. He had to disappear. But man, we about to go ahead and get on up out of here, man. We're gonna kick back and watch this game.
All right.
And like I say, we'll catch y'all next week. I don't know what's I don't know what the plan is for Saturday yet. We might do something. I gotta figure out. I'll be having company at the house, so it's like, man, I had to like sneak out the room, man, and set up. So we'll see what happens, but with that being said, man, we're gonna get on up out of here. We'll catch y'all either Saturday or Thursday. So y'all just keep it locked here, and we'll holler at y'all next time.
For sure.
Peace.